now that we have this platform, even everybody as a whole,
True.
it's time to make that push and understand we need everybody, man.
All right, we are now joined by an absolute beast on the field. Born in Ottawa, Ontario, Mr. Neville Gallimore. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't complain. Listen, we're going to talk about everything, but I want to start in the beginning. What was it like growing up for you?
I come from a 100% authentic Jamaican household. I'm the youngest. Both my parents were born and raised in Jamaica. They came to Canada. Football is really, I kind of just did it at first just because, my friends were doing it in the neighborhood. And I went to my ninth grade and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm trying to put on for the city. Let me see how far I can take this or how good I can really get at this sport. And then, look, I'm here now.
Mama, I made it. Just keeping it real. And I can speak for you because we share the same thing. Similar skin tone, football player. Sometimes you're the biggest guy in the room. And to keep it a buck, sometimes you're the darkest guy in the room. Have you ever been driving a car, pulled over for no reason, that the fact that you're a big fella, it's threatening on the football field because you're damn talented. Yeah. But the unfortunate thing, it also can be threatening in real life to people who are quick to judge.
It's funny, even when I was back at Oklahoma, I remember when I would get pulled over, a lot of the, police who pulled me over at first, like they pull me over and they're like, oh, Lee, they see the ID.
Things switch up.
And then it's like, okay, you're out for the warning. They say the light was out or something. That's not the case. So
I've been through that same thing where somebody would pull me over, see the ID. Oh, Nate, what's up, man? I love that touchdown last week. Or, a couple years ago, you really saved me in fantasy. Or, hey, I like what you're doing on the show. As much as I can do one of these, like, all right, let me drive off to where I'm going. Inside, I almost feel bad for the black man, the black woman, the black boy, the black girl that don't get the pass.
I could look back the amount of times that I've gotten pulled over and like the amount of warnings I've gotten where I'm like, man, what if I can only imagine, what if I was just same size, same stature,
regular dude.
They knew me working a 9 to 5. I probably would have been in cuffs a couple times. I guess it's a blessing in disguise because even for me, when I'm at Oklahoma, even now that I play for Dallas, when I felt the most safe. Neville Gallimore, Oklahoma football D-line. That's the first thing that comes to mind. So I'm like, okay, cool. So when it got to the point where I see a cop, I'm like, okay, all right, I know.
I'm good.
It's all good. But I know, what if I didn't? And I'm seeing guys that similar to me that are, things aren't working out in their favor. And that's the stuff that brings me down and it makes me sad. Because, even in this game, at any moment, this stuff could be taken away from me. So it's like, what if I don't have that title? What if it's I was as opposed to I am? You know what I mean? What kind of conversation is that?
We have a different connection to the struggle, not just because of the color of our skin, not just because 6 degrees of separation and we have dealt with it. My grandfather was beat by the police. Didn't live past that day. I never met him. Died 10 years before I was born. With all that said, is that the reason why you feel like it's important for you to use your platform and speak up?
This is how I feel. My philosophy is the only way you can really get people to either respect or take notice of what you're about, you gotta show through your actions. I feel like, again, I'm a rookie coming in this game, getting an opportunity to play. I'm still trying to establish myself and still, I'm learning. I'm trying to be a better football player. I feel like I'll be able to speak more or really voice or get my point across by, again, what value I bring to that field, if that makes sense.
You're spot on, bro. You put in work on the field so you can reach a certain place and your voice is a little bit more respected. we talked about the value of Black lives, and I think we all agree. You know, Black lives, they also matter. I don't understand why that is so difficult to comprehend for some people. But you also wanted to put an emphasis on Black-owned business, which I think is powerful. Why is that so important to you?
Black-owned businesses are getting pushed, but people are listening. This is the first time where, even for myself, I'm like, there's a whole other world. There's so many companies, and I didn't even know that was
That's a fact.
Black-owned. And there's a lot of negativity, and it still needs to be better. And you can still see signs of, the past still being brought in the present. But I feel like there is some sort of steps that need to be taken. But the only thing is now we can't settle. Now that we have this platform, even everybody as a whole,
true,
it's time to make that push and understand we need everybody, man.
For that young kid who is being raised in Canada, and he's seeing what's going on in his country and other countries, what words of encouragement would you like to share with them?
I would just say to that kid, man, to just focus on being a good person. Just and not saying it's not going to be perfect and everything. I just know that what helped me is there's a standard that I lived up to, whereas being a good person, staying true to yourself, treating everybody as well. I'm not saying take disrespect, but carry yourself in a way where, people have good things to say. And even if they don't, they can honestly say, this is a good guy. This is a spot on. This is a guy who gets how to move. You know what I mean?
It takes effort to be a good person, but just like in football, put in the effort. Because if we have one person being a good person at a time, this world will eventually change, man. Thank you so much, Neville. We appreciate you joining us, and looking forward to your long, illustrious NFL career.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
100%, man.